The area I want to spend the rest of my time on, and the one I really want to drill deep on, because it is the most important one, is the area of what happens at the teaching level. And so I want to talk about that. It begins with a term some of you have heard. How many have heard the term rigor and relevance? Okay. My organization actually created that term about 10 years ago, but we didn't create it theoretically. We created it based upon what we were seeing in the nation's most rapidly improving schools. To understand that, let's try a couple questions. How many in this room have a son or a daughter, a niece or a nephew, or a grandchild who is a preteen, a teen, or in their early 20s? Okay, everybody who just raised your hands, how many of you hope the person you just raised your hands about sometime in the next decade becomes independent? Anybody doesn't want them to be independent, and I'll show you a sick person, okay? I want you to look at this chart. And in a moment, I want you to yell out your answer, but not until I say the word now. I want you to yell out your answer to this question. What two numbers on this chart will your children need to function in order to become independent? Is it level 1 and 2, have knowledge and be able to apply knowledge in the discipline? Or is it level 4 and 5, be able to apply knowledge to a real-world predictable problem? And level, that's 4. 5 is real-world unpredictable problem or situation. Got the question? What two numbers do they need to function at in order to become independent? Okay to be different than the person sitting next to you. Yell out your personal belief. 1 and 2 or 3 and or 4 and 5. Yell out your answer now.
4 and 5.
Wow, that's scary. Did you tell them earlier in the conference when I wasn't here? How did they know? I guess it borders on common sense. Let me push my luck. We have done under contract, in preparation for the Common Core State Standards, an analysis of every state's standards in the country. What two numbers on this chart is nearly every standard in every discipline in every grade in every state? 1 and 2 or 4 and 5, folks?
1 and 2.
We just defined the problem. Got our eye on the wrong ball. We also have never seen a standard in this country we do not like. We have a full 40% more standards than the average of the OPEC nations. And we have by far the shortest school year. What we have is breadth of coverage on everything at level 1 and 2, and mastery of little at 4 and 5. How many of you were working in schools way, 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 way back in 1983? Some of you laugh like it's not so long ago, right? Let me try something. Probably not in this group, but maybe. Do we have anybody in the room who was not yet born in 1983? Because go back and ask your faculty. You will have a ton of them. What national report came out about American education in 1983? The nation. And we're really frightened because one nation had technologically passed America by. What nation was it in the early 80s? Japan. How many of you are so old that you can remember the 1980s? I'm sorry, 1960s. Okay, good. Many of you are clearly too young. And a couple sitting over here must have been doing some things in the 60s that made the whole decade look like a blur to them that they don't remember. What did made in Japan mean in the 1960s? Junk, shoddy workmanship. What did it mean by 1983? World class. 1983, nobody was talking about made in China. It meant what? Junk, shoddy workmanship. Today, our fiercest economic competitor. 1990s, nobody was talking about India. Today, our second fiercest economic competitor. I've been asked to address the American Business Roundtable next month. They're really concerned about a group of nations that they are having increasingly a hard time competing with. They want me to come and talk about the education in the world's 5 fastest growing economies. There are 5 nations that, despite a worldwide recession, have had 5 straight years of double-digit growth in their economies. And 4 of those 5 are poised to equal the U.S. economy within a decade. Does anybody know what those nations are? In rank order, Vietnam, which means something quite different to my generation. Vietnam, Argentina, Brazil, Indonesia. 5th one will not rival the U.S. economy. It's too small, but is becoming an economic player. Panama. China's not going away. Japan's not going away. India's not going away. What's the message? We are no longer the world's sole superpower. We're just acting and spending as if we are. And business and industry is saying, we have a problem. They had the problem in '83. They're the ones that pushed the nation at risk. They're the ones that pushed for No Child Left Behind. They're the ones pushing for Common Core state standards, next generation assessments. Let me ask you, what 2 numbers on this chart does business and industry want our graduates to function at? 1 and 2 or 4 and 5? You know what they're saying about our graduates? Even our best of them? They don't know what to do when they don't know what to do. They're saying school doesn't teach common sense. Let me show you a video to demonstrate it. And see if you can think of anybody you work with when you see these 2.
Whoa, that's not good.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are 2 people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, there's not enough left to do, is there?
Okay. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do this. I want each table to take 5 minutes and see if any table can come up with one thing they could have done differently. Can anybody think of somebody you know when you see these 2? By a show of hands. Okay, point to them if they're with you so I know what ones they are. What's business saying about our kids? They don't know what to do when they don't know what to do.